Alright guys, today I'm going to do a video on Andreas Müzner. Now apologies for the surname pronunciation, that's how I imagined it sounded when I was reading the magazines from the late 80s until the mid 1990s when this guy was competing. Now rather than his competition history, I think he's going to be best remembered for being consistently shredded at competitions. This guy's conditioning was at another level. It appeared to almost have a skinless appearance to it. Now his competition history from 1989 to 1996, he competed in 21 professional competitions. Now he had one win, and I'm not even sure, 100% sure this is a pro competition, but the World Games heavyweight at 1989, and I'm going to leave it there anyway because it was the only major win he achieved. His best place at the Mr. O was 9th in 1993 and 1994, and his best place at the Arnold was 3rd in 1990. The Physique Critique. Now for me, one of his stronger and more aesthetically pleasing body parts were his legs. Now his calves had deep insertions and were fairly proportionate to his thighs. The shape of his quads, I reckon, improved throughout his career. I thought initially they were a little bit square, blocky in appearance, but as his career went on, I think he got quite a good outer sweep to his thighs, and he always had a very well developed teardrop. Now his conditioning on his legs was just crazy. He had really amazing feathering to his thighs. Now I wouldn't say his legs dominated his physique, but I consider they were superior to his upper body. I think that balance was sort of reduced as time went on, but I think always they were a little bit better than his upper body was. Look, Munzer was very tight through the waist. He had good separation of all the abdominal muscles, but look, he didn't have a really tight, small waist. And it did look slightly blocky in some poses, which didn't give him the best V-taper. Now his biceps were full, quite large really, but they sort of lacked peak to him. He didn't have the most impressive back and rear double biceps, and this wasn't helped for the fact that he didn't have a heavy hanging tricep to sort of balance his bicep out and give him a more fuller muscle. But in saying that, look, he had the most amazing side tricep pose. All heads of the tricep were really clearly defined and separated, and they were feathered. They were really impressive. His chest and shoulders were both extremely conditioned. He had finger-like striations through these body parts in his poses. As with his triceps, all heads of the shoulder were really fully developed and separated. He could have been lacking, for me, a little bit fullness in the chest. I think part of this is going to come down to the level of conditioning. This guy just super diced and probably needed to carb up more in a lot of ways. Now his upper back was very well developed. Really resembled an anatomy chart because you could pretty much make out all the muscle groups there, the traps, the rhomboids, teres major, minor, the lats. You could see them all individually in the rear double bi. It did lack a bit of width through the back, and his lats were a bit high, but development was there. Müzner didn't have the prettiest physique out there, and I feel like his extreme level of conditioning worked against him in a way. Because when he posed, all the muscle groups were so separated and delineated, I was struggling with that word, that they seemed to stand alone on his body, and they didn't seem to give a great flow or tie-in with any of the other muscle groups, so each one was just standalone muscle. I think it's fair to say he's never going to have the muscle bellies or the lines of a flex wheeler, but I think what he did was maximise his physique within his structural and genetic limitations. Now it's well known this guy passed away in 1996 at the age of just 31. There's been lots of speculation regarding his death from excessive use of certain supplements to overdoing diuretics, to extreme low-fat nutrition, which basically just destroyed his internal organs. I know from my current job anyway that hearsay and media information is oftentimes incorrect to the truth, and I'll just say that he paid the ultimate sacrifice for his chosen sport, and he definitely died too young. Anyway, I'm not going to remember him for his death anyway. I'm going to remember him for his, all too short bodybuilding career and just that crazy, freaky conditioning that he brought to the stage. Anyway, guys, that's my little story on Andreas Müzner, Munzer. So if you have any comments of that, please leave them. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.